Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So about a month ago, maybe a little bit more, I posted a video talking about 10 things that I love about living here in South Korea, and a lot of you guys asked if I would do kind of a follow-up to that video talking about the things that I don't like so much about Korea. I sat down and I tried to make a list of things that I don't like, and honestly I don't want to call these things that I don't like because I think I simply just don't understand these things. So today I'm going to be sitting down and sharing with you guys 10 things that I do not understand about life in Korea. A couple things before we get started. If you are new to my channel, I've lived in Korea since last summer, so I've lived here just under a year, which really is not that much time compared to some people. And then the other thing is, if you have ever lived in Korea, if you've visited, I'm really curious to know what are some things that you did not understand or like about the culture. And then the third little disclaimer is, please just know that I love living in Korea, and these things are just a part of life, you know what I mean? Like anywhere you live, there's gonna be things that you don't understand or you don't like. So I don't want people to take this video as me like talking crap about Korea. It's not like that at all. It's just a lighthearted and highly requested video. All right, so the first thing that I do not understand, and this probably bothers me the most, is the irrational fear of dogs that so many people here have. I have a little small dog. She's over there on the couch right now. She's like literally this big, and it's a miniature Doberman, and I'm not kidding you, every single time I take her outside, there is somebody on the street that decides to either scream when they see her or they scurry away.
Louise is petrified of mustard.
Like literally scurry to like the side of the sidewalk so that they are as far away from her as they can get, and they will stop and let us pass them and then continue to walk behind us. There have been so many times when this happens, you guys. Like, I'm not kidding. Every single day when I'm walking Cleo, somebody stops and like leans back in fear of my tiny dog who is on a leash just walking normally. There will be couples in front of me walking, and when the guy looks back and he sees that there is a dog behind them, he will grab his girlfriend and pull her to the side and let me pass them. And I'm just like, why do you have to be so dramatic? Now I know that everybody has their own personal stories, and some people have a fear of dogs just from like past trauma, but there is no way that that many people here have a justified reason to be afraid of dogs. There have been times that I've been walking on a sidewalk and there's been someone coming in my direction, and as soon as they see that I have a dog, they will cross the street to get away from my dog and I, and then as soon as we pass them, they will cross the street again to get back on the same path. So yeah, that is the first and probably biggest thing that I don't understand about living here. The second thing that I don't understand slash just dislike is the lack of personal hygiene. There's two main things that kind of go under this. So I think for the most part, honestly, Koreans have great hygiene. I mean, it's not like people don't brush their teeth here or anything like that. When I say personal hygiene, it's kind of just like public hygiene. So the first thing is, I noticed this as soon as I visited Korea for vacation. In any public restrooms, there usually isn't soap. And if there is gonna be soap, it's a bar soap that everybody is sharing. I'm not joking you. Like, the only times I've ever seen liquid soap has been in the subway stations, but at a restaurant or anything like that, you're gonna have a small bar of soap that everybody is touching and sharing, and that's if you're lucky. Like, a lot of places just don't have soap. However, I will say, since the virus started, all of those places now have liquid bottled soap, so it's a little bit more hygienic, but I am fairly sure that the bar soap will make a great return later this summer. The second thing that kind of goes under that is the spitting and the hacking and just the I'm not kidding. There have been so many times that an old man has spit and almost like spit on me because of how much spitting goes on here. When you're walking on the street, I'm always like looking to make sure I'm not stepping in someone's spit, and just the noises that these people make. In my apartment building, there's a bathroom, and I think the doormen in my apartment just go in there and they're like I just genuinely don't understand where these sounds have to come from and why. Yeah, the soap situation and the spitting situation are just two things I just don't understand. The third thing I don't understand slash don't enjoy about living in Korea is the Korean surprise. Now this is something that I dealt with while I was working. Now that I'm not working, this is something that I don't really have to face anymore. But if you're gonna come work in Korea, you have to be a proactive person, because there are going to be so many situations where you go to work and you find something out that you were expected to know, but nobody told you. So for example, a lot of times when I was working, we would have a holiday, which means we didn't have to go to work, and nobody would tell me. Like, they just would, I guess, assume that for some reason I knew. One time we had like graduation photos and like nobody told me like, hey, maybe wear something nice, don't come in your regular like sweatshirt. So yeah, this one's really short and sweet, but if you're gonna come work in Korea, just know that there's gonna be a lot of situations where you are unaware of something happening until 5 minutes before. The fourth thing that I don't understand about living in Korea is the lack of individuality. You probably heard a lot about this, so I'll keep this one short, but I feel like people here like to kind of blend in with each other. This is case by case. Like, there's some people that love to be unique and creative, but for the most part, I feel like so many people here just wear the same things and do the same style, have the same haircut. Really bad in the winter, honestly. Like, if you go outside in the winter, everybody is wearing this long black or white padding coat. If you look at the cars on the street, every car is like black or white. If you're in more of like a young hip area like Samyeon or Hongdae or Gangnam, like you're gonna see more colorful cars because it's younger people driving. But the monochromaticness here is really, really crazy. And like, even when I'm on the subway and I look around, like everyone is just wearing black, white, and gray. Like, not many people are wearing like fun pops of colors. So that is just something that I just don't like. The next thing that I don't understand about living in Korea is the bizarre couple culture. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is something that, even though I don't understand it, I love it. I think it's really funny to observe and to look at.
비벼? 막 비벼. 이렇게 존나 비벼. 존나 비벼. 이리로 갔다 저리로 갔다 앞으로 갔다 뒤로 갔다 존나 비벼. 막 비벼. 환상. 이게 키스.
So one of the first things I noticed when I came to Korea was that couples like to match each other, like from head to toe. So a lot of times, and I mean a lot of times, couples will be out wearing the same exact shoes, pants, blazer, t-shirt, hat, backpack. They have all of the same things on. There's also just like several other kind of cringe things that couples have to do here. Like, a lot of couples have an app that tracks how many days they've been together, and they celebrate their like 22-day anniversary, 100-day anniversary, 300-day anniversary. I think the most cringe thing that I find about the couples here is the holding of the women. If you live in Korea, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but Korean men will literally hold their women while they're walking. So the girl will be walking and they'll be standing next to them, holding each of their shoulder. Not like hand around the waist or something, but they'll literally have their hands on both of her shoulders, almost like guiding the woman. It's very weird, but as I said, it's just something I don't understand, and it's something that I will continue to observe and just kind of laugh at. The next thing that I just really don't understand about living here is some of the people's lack of surroundings. So for living in a really big city, you would think that people would like have a good awareness of like what's going on around them, but it is so common to be walking behind somebody who is just like deciding to take up the entire sidewalk, like I guess by walking in the middle, and it's like impossible to get around them, and they can tell that there's someone behind them, but they decide to not move to one or the other side. I feel like only the young people realize that you're supposed to walk on the right side of the path. Another example of this, I know I mentioned this in a recent video, but back in the winter I got off the subway and there were like hundreds of people walking up one of those staircases that goes outside. So the subway's down here and you're walking outside, and I mean, it's like really crowded, like busy time of day, and this woman just stopped on the middle of the stair, like middle of the stair, and decided to pull her makeup out and just start doing her makeup while hundreds of people were just walking up the stairs, and she just decided to stop in the middle of the staircase. It's not even like it was on one of those levels, it was literally on the stair. I just don't understand it. I just can't grip it. Can you? The next thing I don't understand about living here is the really minimal amount of trash cans on the street. I feel like in the West, I mean, anywhere you go, you're gonna find a trash can somewhere because you want to prevent litter, right? But here, good luck. Like, you're not going to find a trash can, and if you are, it's probably just going to be a big trash bag that the garbage men put on the street. Like here in Busan, maybe every 10 blocks you'll find a blue trash bag on the ground that you can just put your trash. It's like literally a trash bag laying on the ground that you have to open up and like put your trash in if you are lucky enough to find one. But for the most part, if you have trash, people kind of just make collective trash piles in the middle of the street, which is weird, but it's kind of like a commonly known thing that people here do. So it's really common to be walking on the street and you'll just see a giant pile of like coffee cups because people don't have any access to trash cans, so they just kind of make their own. Kind of going along with that, you can't just use any kind of trash bag to throw your trash away inside your house. You have to go to the convenience store or the mart and you have to buy them individually. You can't buy just like a big old box. From what I know, you can't buy a big box of trash bags. You have to buy them individually, and it has to be like this certain kind. And yeah, it's just a little bit inconvenient. The next thing that I don't understand about living here, but it's the type of thing that I will just continue to kind of sit back and giggle at it, is the photoshopping culture. And when I say photoshopping, I mean like hardcore. Like, this is more than just like your slight touching up on Facetune. This is like 100% you look like a completely different person. Before I ever came to Korea, I would always see girls and guys selfies and I was like, how do they look so good? Like, how is their jaw so perfectly shaped? How do they have these big eyes and this bright skin? And then when I came here, I realized that while there are a ton of people that look like that, most of them that are posting photos of themselves like that are actually just using these crazy applications that completely alter the shape of your face. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up right now and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so here I am right now. This is my normal face, no edits. I'm going to sculpt my face to give me that Korean V-line. And let's just go ahead and make my chin smaller. Do you see how incredibly different, like I literally look like an alien right now, but do you see how quickly I was able to just alter my face? What the heck? Funniest part about this is people don't care. Like, people know that everybody knows they Photoshop their photos and they just don't care. A lot of times in people's photos, you'll see the line is like completely distorted and they'll still post it on Instagram. Like, people don't care because at the end of the day, all they care about is how their face looks. There are photo studios here that you can go to and have a professional photo taken, and I'm pretty sure like all photo studios, even in the West, are willing to do a little bit of photoshopping, but the photoshopping here makes you look like a completely different person, even in these professional studios. Next thing that I do not understand about living in Korea is why banking has to be so incredibly complicated. Now, I'm gonna admit, I think I have it pretty good compared to some people because I went with a very foreign friendly bank account. So on my app, everything is in English and my bankers are able to speak English to me. If you are trying to do something just as simple as, I don't know, pay your rent or pay your cell phone bill or transfer your friend $20, you have to jump through what feels like 50 loops and holes and hula hoops just to send a few dollars. And there's like this special card that you have to use to input certain numbers, and it's different numbers every single time you're doing a bank transfer, and that's annoying. And then God forbid, if you want to do something on your computer that has to do with banking, you have to download like 3 separate programs and get a special certificate and all of this stuff just to access your own bank account on your computer. I just don't get it, and if you live in Korea, you can probably relate to me a lot. I will say I have KB Hana. For the most part, it's been a good experience, but there are still just some inconveniences that go along with it. All right, the final thing that I don't understand about living in Korea is the sexualization, I guess, of the shoulder area. So I do understand that every culture's beauty standards are completely different, but I don't understand how it is considered okay to wear these tiny short ass skirts. And I mean short, guys, short skirts. But then if you show like a little bit of your shoulder, it's like, that's really all I had to say for that one. I think I'm just salty because I love wearing tank tops. And even though at the end of the day, I could easily go outside right now wearing a tank top, I would get looked at, and I don't want to deal with like being stared at even more than I already do. Yeah, I wish that wasn't a thing here. I wish you could just go outside freely and wear a tank top and it not be this whole like sexual looking thing. All right guys, so that is going to sum it up for the 10 things that I don't understand slash about living in Korea. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, please just take this with a grain of salt. Take it lightheartedly because that is what I intended it to be like. And if you've ever lived in Korea, or if you have visited and there were some things you didn't understand or didn't enjoy or didn't like, please share it down below. There's probably a few things that I'm forgetting about, but overall it was kind of hard. Like once I got to number 7, number 8, I was like, what else do I not like? Because for the most part, I really do enjoy living here. But yeah, those are the things I don't understand. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check me on Instagram if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.